Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you are all here today, but before we get on with the video, Braden, we love you so very much and don't ever forget it. So with all of that, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I have one of these jug carton, milk carton cutouts from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the paper from the front of it using my little Cricut spatula. The paper came off so beautifully and so easily. Look at how nice that was. But if you don't want to go through all of this, if you have one of these, you can always just use the back side of it and cover the front with some shipping paper. And then I'm going to spritz it all down with water and let it sit for 5 minutes before I scrape it off. Look at that. It was just peeling off. I was just like in heaven. I was like, I love this. Anyways, I'm just going to take my paint scraper here and I'm just going to start removing all that extra backing of the paper and the glue and just get it all nice and smooth. And then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. And after that was dry, I got this design off of Cricut Design Space. I printed it on my Frisco brand stencil vinyl. Yeah, and I am going to do this a little differently than I normally weed it. I'm going to get the background and remove the background and leave all the letters, just like you see. And I had to use my weeding tool here to just kind of help remove the little inner pieces of the letters. And after I have this all done and had it all done, which will be any second, I'm going to lay it on my, I guess that's a milk jug, right? I'm not sure what they call it. Anyways, and I start painting with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is black, all over it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but inside the A and the R, and the E and the A, and I didn't remove the little inner parts. So you'll see me realize that here in a few minutes. So after I got it all painted and it dry, and I used my heat gun to dry it, I'm going to remove my vinyl, and I am going to use my little Cricut spatula to remove all the little letters. And it's right about here when I pull off the R and the middle part comes up, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot to remove those. And I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? So I thought, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So once I got this part done, I took a pencil and I just colored or drew in where I wanted to make that little inner spot. And then I took my black marker and colored that in. So if you look up close to it, you can tell. But anyways, so after I had that all weeded, I'm going to take my ruler here and I'm going to draw some lines, and then I'm going to just paint within those lines with my black color. I felt like it was just too white. It needed a little contrast, so I'm going to just do that on the top part and those little handle parts. Once I was done with that, I decided, you can't have farmhouse without distressing. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little chippy brush, and I'm going to go all the way around this piece with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. Then I took some of this ribbon. I've had my stash for a few years. I got it through Amazon, and I did not measure the length, but I just glued end to end for that piece. I'm going to take this ribbon that I think I got from, I don't know where I got it at, honestly. I want to say Sam's, but I'm not positive. I'm going to do the awareness ribbon, scrunch it up in the middle, and then I'm going to connect the two with some twine. And I'm just going to tie a knot in the back to hold it all in place. And then after that, and this that first ribbon, the burlap one, it's kind of thick, so sometimes it's kind of hard to work with. I'm going to cut the angles I'm going to cut the tails at an angle for a dovetail. Then I cut two pieces. I don't know, these looks like about 5-6 inches maybe. I don't know how many inches, but anyways, cut two of them the same, and then I'm going to dovetail just one end of them. And then I'm going to glue them, overlapping them just like you see on the top. These are going to be the tails for the other piece. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is because it's the other ribbon's so thick and bulky, it's hard to do the awareness ribbon part with it. So that's why I did it that way. Then I'm just going to add some eucalyptus that I've taken off some different pieces before. And then I'm just going to add the hanger, and that's all I did for that. The only thing is I wish I would have made the bow a little bit smaller so you could see the handles hanging out, but I think it came out pretty cute. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below.
You know, he likes to smell my mouth, and I think I figured it out. I think it's the lipstick. I don't normally wear lipstick, and I think he's like, "What is that on your lips, Mom? I can smell something weird on your lips." And I think that's what it is, because that's the only time I wear it is for my intros. Maybe we solved the mystery, right? Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I just don't even know what to say anymore. You guys have got me at a loss today. Anyways, I may be having a surgery coming up soon. It's not for sure, but it's kind of looking that way. So I'm not sure what I'll do, if I'm going to try and craft ahead of time. But I'll let you know as we go on, what happens, but I know I have to take like a week of doing nothing. So, yeah, that's going to be hard for me, because I tell you, I can take a couple of days of just sitting to relax and not doing much. But then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm sick of sitting here. I need to do something else. I need to get up and move around. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love doing what I'm doing, is because it gives me income, but yet I can still stay busy and I can stay at home. For those of you who don't know, I'm an introvert. I love being in my home. It's my safe space. And I think that's one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to have so many people living in my house, because it was really hard. I know I didn't say a lot about it, but it was really, really difficult for me. And as much as I love them, it was really hard. So I'm glad that we are over that and we've got my house back together, and yeah, enjoying my crafting time again. Anyways, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my Oliver, and I don't really think he's sleepy. I think it's the lights. I think they bother him. So we're going to make this short. It's kind of long, but anyways, we're going to shorten this up. If you like home decor on a budget, if you like crafting, and if you like fun and cuteness, then make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go and become part of our YouTube family. And for those of you returning, well, you know it. I think you're the best. So with all of that being said, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, on to DIY number 2. So I have this rectangle wood piece I got from Walmart. I'm going to remove the little hanger off of it within the staple. And then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. Once it was all done, I'm going to take this month's Chalk Couture Club kit, and I'm going to use some of it, but that's the stencil. It comes with this can cooler and some ink that you can use, Candy Apple and Cadet. Those are really pretty colors. And but I'm not going to use those. I'm just going to use the stencil. So I'm going to cut out this part of it, and I'm going to use the stripes. I'm going to fuzz this since it's the first time I've used it, and I'm going to fuzz it about 5 times. And if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, they are self-adhesive stencils, and we fuzz them the first time we use them. Otherwise, they will pull up ink and your chalk paste when you pull this up at the end. So I laid it where I wanted it, and then I'm going to use my chalk paste in the color Saffron. And I'm just going to use my squeegee to go over all of the stripes, and then you'll see me here once I'm done. I will move it down and over to the right a little bit. Now, if you are not familiar with Chalk Couture, I am a Chalk Couture designer. I do have a link to my page in my description box below. If you're interested in trying it out, I usually recommend the monthly subscription, which is called Club Couture or Couture Club. Club Couture, I think. I always forget. And you get an exclusive 8x11 like this one transfer, which is a stencil. You get some kind of surface and either chalk paste or chalk or the ink. And the ink you use like on cloth, you have to heat set it. And it's I think that's up to $25 a month now, 25 or 26. They just raised it. It is a good deal if you want to try it out, but if you do, you have to be subscribed for at least 3 months before you can unsubscribe from it. And then we also have our members perk, which is $20 a month, and you get 30% off of anything you order. Plus, you also every month get a $20 credit towards purchases. So those are some options to check out if you're interested. Again, you can check out my link, or you can always send me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions. But you can pretty much find most of that information in my link there. And yeah, and have fun. So I'm just showing you here. I was just trying to make sure it looked kind of even. As you can see towards the bottom, it wasn't quite even, but that's okay because I just took a paintbrush when I was all done with this and just kind of used my paste there to just fill in where the little where I didn't quite match the lines up. But anyways, I'm just going to finish this all up here. And then once I was done, I washed my stencil. You always want to wash them right away in cold water. And when you wash them, you want to wash the top part, the non-sticky side. When I do wash the sticky side, but I do it very lightly with like a sponge, kind of wipe it down with a damp sponge. So once it was all dry, I had these rub-on transfers here. And I'm just going to lay this one out. I just thought that was so cute. And so I'm just going to rub this on. And this, I think these transfers came from Amazon. I think I got them a year or two ago. They're almost a little more like stickers. You don't have to rub very much usually, but they come on pretty easily. So I'm just going to, in the backing, the part that you pull off, it's really kind of sticky. So it's kind of hard to pull off. So you see me just holding that down there. Then I'm going to take my little bamboo sticks that I love. And I have these, I get them from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store. They are ways down because I got them a couple of years ago and they've lasted forever because you get so many of them. But I'm just measuring them and cutting them with my miter shears. And I'm just going to just make a little frame to go around my picture. Once I had them all cut, I didn't angle the ends on this one. I just think it gives it a little more of a rustic look without the angling. So I'm just going to go over all of them with my Waverly Antique Wax, and I just brush it all on and then use my paper towel to wipe it all off. And once I was done with those, and I'm going to take my Titebond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue, and I'm just going to start gluing them all in place. I like using the Titebond glue for this because it doesn't set right away. It takes a few minutes, so it gives you time to adjust them and to make sure that those are all straight. Then I took some 20mm beads and I put them on some painter's tape, and I'm just using my antique wax, and I'm just going to brush all over them. And I did not wipe them off. I just let them dry. Then I'm going to take two of the larger blocks. These are from Dollar Tree. You can get them at Five Below as well. And I'm just going to connect them together using my Titebond glue and hot glue. And then I went over them with my antique wax and brushed off the excess just like I do every time I use that stuff. And once I had that all done, I'm going to use my Titebond glue and a little bit of hot glue. Again, the Titebond glue is a permanent in a hold, I believe, but the hot glue is for immediate hold. I can't talk today. Anyways, and I'm just going to glue those to the blocks. Now they are going past the sign, and the reason being is because of what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to glue 4 of these beads together, but I had taken some picks. I'd cut off some extra of the stems from the picks, and I'm going to put it through. I'm going to put those beads. Well, I'm going to put it through the beads. I guess that's the best way to say it. But I'm going to glue them with the hot glue. And then I'm going to, you'll see, put hot glue on the bottom of the bead and put it through that little stem until we have 4 of them on the stem. And then I'm going to take those little sunflowers that come from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put one on the top. And then I was going to glue these to the side of the picture, but they just were not, they weren't really wanting to stand. They weren't doing well. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to, there's enough of a lip. I'm just going to put them kind of on those blocks towards the back of this a little bit. And then I took 2 sunflowers. I put one on the top left corner and then one on the top or bottom right corner as you're looking at it. And then I just took some of this ribbon. I got this at Christmas time a couple of years ago from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to make a little bit of a bow. I'm going to dovetail the ends, and then I'm going to hot glue that to the top. And that's all I did with this. And I just think it came out really cute. I just thought the little sunflowers matched the sunflower in that cow's hair. I just love it. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have Cheryl. Look at all these beautiful pieces she made. Those paintings are decoupage, but she also painted over them to make them look a little more realistic. Great job, Cheryl. Thank you so much for sharing those. And then Harriet, she has been busy making all of these fun spring and Easter DIYs. I love them, Harriet. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. And then we have Maria. Look at her pretty things that she's made. That cross is just beautiful. And I love, of course, that purple Easter. And I love that napkin. And your little bunny's so cute. Thank you, Maria, for sharing these with us. And if you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address, which is rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, and now we're on to DIY number 3. So I took a pizza pan and I'm just going to do a light sanding over it just so that the paint adheres to this. And then I'm going to wipe it all down with a baby wipe and make sure it's all clean. And I'm going to paint it with my ink chalk paste. No, my ink chalk paint. I'm not doing chalk couture right now. Anyways, I have this beautiful calendar from this year at Dollar Tree, and I just loved the paintings on these. I just thought they were so pretty. And I'm going to use the one for March. If you haven't found this calendar at Dollar Tree, you could always use any kind of scenery that you'd like to make one of these. And I know it's everybody, you've probably seen pizza pan projects a million times, but I just felt like using the pizza pan since I haven't used one for a long time. So I'm going to take one of these splatter screens and I laid it where I wanted it, and I'm going to trim around it, and then I'm going to cut around it because it's totally perfect for the inside of the pizza pans. But we are not going to use the front side. We're going to use the back side. So I went ahead and put some Mod Podge all over the back, and I'm just going to brush it all over the back, and I'm actually going to brush it all over the whole entire pizza pan. I did this on the other side of it too. This just helps give it that paint another protection. So just another layer of defense against chipping the paint off of that metal. So once I was done, I took my picture here and I'm going to lay it out right on top. And I just love this picture because of the little cardinals. They were so cute. And then I love the barn scene as well with the little flowers. I just loved it. Anyways, I'm going to take, once it was all done and my glue was dry, my Mod Podge, I'm going to take some of my braided jute cord that I love, and I'm going to just go around that picture. Now, what I should have done next was make some hanger holes in the edge of the pizza pan, but I wasn't thinking. Instead, I took some Dollar Tree rope and this ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to wrap this ribbon around it, just leaving about a ½ inch gap in between. And I'm just going to, once in a while, add a little hot glue to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to keep wrapping it. And then once I had enough to go around my pizza pan, I am going to take it, I'm just going to glue it around right underneath that first row of my jute cord that I like. Then I'm going to take that jute cord again, and I'm going to go on the outer side of the bigger rope and ribbon that I did. And then I got this from a thrift store. It was 49 cents, originally from Hobby Lobby. I couldn't tell what the original price was. But even though I removed that and wiped it down, it still had spots on it. So I decided to go ahead and paint it with my ink. Just give it a better coating so it's looks good. Then I took these 2-inch wood letters that I got from Amazon. You can get these from Hobby Lobby as well. In fact, I kind of wonder if these actually came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to add my antique wax on them. And then I'm going to take my Titebond glue and I'm going to just brush it all along the back. I'm using my little square ruler there to just kind of keep it all from being crooked, because I can never do a straight line and I need things like this to help me. So, and even sometimes I'll use stuff like this and still go crooked. So once I had those all glued on, I took some more of my braided jute cord that I love, and I'm just going to outline this sign with that. And then this is where I realized, oh, I didn't make hanger holes. And I'm like, oh man. So I put this hanger back on this sign. This is the one that came off of it, and I got it to the length that I wanted, tying knots in the back, and then I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have to hot glue this to the front because I didn't want to remove all that to make the hanger holes. So I hot glued it to the front, and then I could have done the back, but we all know it. I just knew it wouldn't stay; it would fall. So that's why I glued it to the ribbon and rope it. Anyways, I had this ribbon that also came from Amazon. I'm going to do a bow. I'm just going to glue the ends to ends, tie some twine around it to hold it in place. I'm going to cut these down just like I did the other one, and just glue it all in place right there. So that way you don't see where I hot glued the hanger. And then I'm just going to hot glue the hanger for the sign. And then I'm going to take some masking tape and tape over it just to give it that other protection. I hate doing hot glue on these things because I know it's not going to last forever. And so that's why I'd rather do stuff that's permanent. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So there it is. I really like how this came out. I hope you did too. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 4. Oh, you guys. Okay, so this is another thrift flip find. I found this for 29 cents, you guys. I couldn't pass that up. And I'm going to remove the glass and the backing from it, and I'm going to take off that the hanger and take off all the staples that was in it. And then I decided to take the little pegs out that hold the backing. Why I did that, I do not know. I was not thinking, and this is not too long after I had my coffee, so I don't know what I was thinking or why I did this, but I removed all of those. Then I painted the whole thing with my plaster color in Waverly, and once it was all dry, I took elephant and I took a baby wipe, and I'm just just wiping that elephant color all over that detail. Then I took a really small brush and I just went along the crevice that was next to that on both sides. And then I decided to go ahead and just paint the inner side of this. I just thought it looked better. So I went ahead and went over it with that elephant color all the way around. And then, of course, what's farmhouse without distressing? So I took that elephant color again. I'm going to just distress the edge. Now, that was getting kind of thick there. I ended up wiping it off because it was looking too thick. But once I got it looking the way I wanted, I painted the back side of it too, and then of the frame. And then I'm going to cover it with Mod Podge. And once it was dry, I had this tissue paper that I'd got a couple years ago from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to lay it on top of there, cover it with my parchment paper to protect it, and then use my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge so that tissue paper sticks. And then after I get that all covered, and I make sure I go over every little corner and edge with that too, as well as the middle, I'm going to remove my parchment paper, and then I cut it down some of that tissue paper. I trimmed it down, and then I'm just going to go over it again with a small amount of Mod Podge just to give it that protective coat, just to kind of help it so that it doesn't tear as easy. Then once it was dry, I took my finger sander here. I'm going to sand off all of this tissue paper, and once I have that all sanded off, I am going to put it with the glass back into my picture frame. And this is where I was like, why did I pull all those things out? How am I going to get this to stay in? So I took it out, and I'm going to just hot glue it all in. So I'm just going to put some hot glue all around the inside edge. I'm going to lay my glass on top of it. And then I'm going to put some more hot glue, trying not to do so much that it shows through on the glass, so that I didn't want it to seep through. So I'm really making sure it's right up against that edge. And then I'm going to lay my backing down right in it. See, I'm picking up some hot glue strings. I didn't want it in there. I'm going to lay that down. And then I'm going to take some of these finial caps. I think I got these. I don't know where I got these. You can get them from Hobby Lobby or Amazon, but I painted them with my elephant color, and then I'm just going to glue them on for feet, and we have this nice little tray. I thought I had some little handles that I could put on it, but I didn't have any that were big enough. I had some really small ones, but I really like how this came out. I think it's a really pretty little tray and a great way to just make everything look a little nicer, a little more high-end. So here is your final reveal. I hope you enjoyed today's farmhouse. I have some more ideas, so I know I'll do another one. But I will be back again on Thursday, hopefully, with another video, as long as everything goes well with my husband's surgery. So stay tuned for that. And with all of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.